All right, there we're going. So let's start with some shout outs. And I know that there's not as many in here as normal, but I'm sure people will trickle in as we get going. So I have a lot of good shout outs this time around. I wrote them down so I won't forget. So one of the things that I want to do is highlight a specific team. There's lots of awesome teams that are doing great stuff, but sometimes our heroic teams get overlooked, because we're a raiding guild, and a lot of times the mythic teams are the ones kind of everybody talks about. But I want to highlight and thank a specific heroic team. Not saying any of the other teams aren't doing awesome, but it's a team that I actually haven't had much interaction with, just because it's been doing its own thing and it's been doing a lot of really good stuff. You're actually going to hear about one of the things they did, but it's Team Titan. So here's some of the stuff they've done. They've filled in gaps in rosters for other teams. They've run FFRs and kept some of those fun runs going when someone wasn't showing up. Just recently, when Flit was out, SOS ended up running the Friday Fun Run, so that's something they've been doing. They've run old content runs for people, in Guild, just advertised and run as a group. They've hosted seed parties, getting resources for different teams. They've done log analysis, so they've worked with raiders in various spots and helped them improve. They've run LFR runs, gear runs to get through queue times a little bit quicker, and then they've also invited certain raiders in that if they wanted to use a coin for a certain boss, stuff like that, they've invited them in to kill a boss for them, or be with them for a boss kill. So while you might not hear a bunch about heroic teams, they're definitely here and they're definitely contributing to the community, and so just wanted to highlight Team Titan. Zozima is the one that runs that team, so next time you see Zozima, you can give him a pat on the back, high five, whatever, but he's doing a really, really outstanding job, and that's what makes this community special, so I wanted to say thanks to Zozima and Team Titan.
Team Titan.
I have other shout-outs, but I'll let somebody else go.
I was going to shout out to Zos as well. He covered for me on that Tuesday when I couldn't run the run due to real life.
All month to think about all the cool things people do for you. No one else?
Well, you kind of stole mine because Titan was my big shout out as well, because they helped me with a special project we're going to talk about in a little bit. Zos and Titan team and Majestus and I filled in some holes for me, so I really appreciate their help.
Oh, where can we should link the meeting agenda somewhere. Just in Guild General, probably. We post the meeting agenda like a week
I'll do that
beforehand.
real quick.
So if anyone, if you just go to General, and it says monthly Guild meetings, and there's one schedule that gets posted. We may, like I said, we may try to change it. We might just move to like 10:15 or something, just so some of these teams that are finishing up could get in here a little bit easier. But the link is there to look at the various things that we're going to be discussing. All right, so other shout-outs. For those of you that don't know, I go to city council meetings, and there was one that went till like 11 o'clock the other night. It was like super long and crazy. And I was not able to make it back on time, so House ran militia for me, and the team did great. So I wanted to just say a shout out to House for running M Team while I was gone, and always helping out with that group. He's also actually added a day to Militia Sunday. They're now doing a normal trial run, so that's I'll probably talk to Majestus about getting that added to the calendar. But it's Sunday from 6 to 9. Is that right?
Yep.
Hey, Zaid?
Yeah.
You know that everybody but Templars and REs are muted right now?
Yeah, that's usually how it is.
Okay. All right. Cool. Someone was asking.
Oh
if
yeah.
that
So
was
it's kind of
intentional.
hard to do. It's kind of hard to do a shout out when everyone's muted. So we've done it just because when there's 100 people in the channel and someone has a push to talk malfunction, it can cause some problems. I wanted to shout out to Z Team. They helped me get a bunch of AP the other night, and that was fun. Shout out to Siri. We got a promotion going. We're going to be hearing about it, but that takes a lot of work and thought, and it's something that really helps bring awareness. And like I said, you'll hear about it. Shout out to Henry for the calendar. I don't know if you guys are looking at the calendar, and she'll talk about this too, but there's all these events that are just constantly going. So like if you want to figure out something to do on an off night, there's stuff there. Just check it out. And then finally, Madge has been doing some great stuff with some of the leadership and organization behind the scenes that helps make my life and everybody else's life better. So I wanted to say thanks for some of the innovative things she's been thinking of to help recruitment on various teams. That's all I got.
If anybody has a shout out that they'd like to add and they're muted, go ahead and type it out in the general chat in Discord.
I don't know. I suppose we could try to do one of these meetings without muting everybody.
We should.
Let's can we unmute everybody right now? I think you'd have to leave and come back in though, right?
Oh gosh.
Right.
They may just have to push their push to talk.
You can try it. You can try it. I mean,
No, they'd have to leave and come back.
all right. So next all guild meeting, we'll try to make it so no one's muted. Shout out for Bolt for being awesome. Awesome. Bolt did a shout out to himself, but then Delturian seconded, I guess.
Shout out to Team Ascension for getting the Mythic.
Yeah.
As well as Imperium.
We're having
Yes,
a number of teams
and
breaking
I-Team.
in. We're having a number of teams breaking into Mythic. I think we're at 9, or are we at 10 now? We're doing well. All right. Well, if there's no shout outs, I see a few people typing there, but we can move along. Next thing on the agenda is introductions. Sorry, go ahead. Bunch of people typing. So continue to still do your shout out, and we can stop and get back to it. Do a shout out any time during the meeting. If you think of anything, you can type it out, and we can say it. Shout out to Trilix for wiping everybody. Maybe not a shout out for Trilix. All right, so the new team lead that we have is Yanetta. She is running Imperium now, and so we can welcome her to the team lead position. Are there any other promotions or introductions that we need to make for team leads or anyone else?
Are we doing ambassadors tonight?
Let's so we're gonna have the ambassador rank created. Actually, yeah, we can do that. If team leads want to name, if you don't know who your ambassador is, you got months to figure it out, so it's not like pressure. But if you know who it is, you can feel free to announce it.
Go ahead.
For Team Dreadnought, Maggie Sue is our ambassador.
Congratulations.
O Team's ambassador is Naisa.
Congrats.
S team is Vondo.
Congrats, Mondo.
Imperium is Leia or Rhea, depending which character she's on.
Congrats. So we'll probably have a few more of these over the weeks, but we've got the rank that's coming soon. Anyone else on promotions or introductions?
Warshield is working, but I'm ambassador. So
All right. Flit will be ambassador for Ascension, is what he's saying.
thanks.
All right, I'm going to read Ilm, however you say it, his shout out. Shout out to Timmy and Team Umbra. Sorry, what? How do you say it?
Lim.
Limb?
It's Ilm, but everybody calls him Lim.
Shout out to Timmy and Team Umbra for letting me get a slice of what Mythic Nighthold is like on a melee class. I was happy to join them for a few hours of Croesus progression on my DK, and it was fun. They have a really cool team, and they should all be super proud of how fast they have progressed and made the team great. And shout out to Majestus for encouraging me to give it a shot. Awesome. Great comment. The April Fool's site, yes. Oh, that was a Henry shouting out for Siri. The April Fool's website was spectacular. You can, do you want to share what Zanari shared, Legion? I won't steal your thunder there. Or maybe you don't see it.
Oh, yeah, I promoted Titans to my range officer.
Congrats. All right, let's.
I have one more.
Go ahead.
Alessandra joined the social app team,
Thanks.
so congrats to her.
So that's another person. Can you spell that out in guild general, just so people can see the name? So that's a person that if you're trying to get someone in the guild, you can talk to. All right, so at this point, most people are here. Let's get into the meat of the meeting. Are there any teams that want to make announcements in terms of some roster holes you're looking to fill, or any other announcements that leadership needs to make at this time?
O team just had a major roster hole in our healing core. Real life hit us, and we need a Holy Pally and a Mistweaver.
All right.
Otherwise, we're gonna make Z heal all the time, and I don't know that.
Guys, I swear I'm sometimes in cat form, like once a week.
All right. Anyone else want to?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
S team had a hole appear 5 minutes before raid in our roster of a main tank, and so we are currently actively recruiting a main tank.
And they're 8 of 10 mythics, so they're going to be a little bit picky. But if you know someone interested, of course, send them to whether it's Majestus or Hanti, etc. Anyone else?
Ascension is looking for a few ranged DPS, just to solidify and bolster.
Dreadnought's looking for a mage.
Right on. All right, so I'm going to move ahead with the agenda item down to reports. So first off, guild status. I really want to thank the team leads and the leadership and the players. I've really seen the community come together in a really cool way the last couple months. It gives me the goosebumps seeing how communication's working. I'm sure you're aware that there's a lot of teams that have struggled with Nighthold and the AP grind. And just like normal, we actually added a team when everybody's struggling, right? And the team Umbra, who's not here because they're raiding, got off to a good start. But it's just this communication that I see. Like for some of you guys, obviously you can't see the Templar chat and the RE chat, but the team leads, the recruitment officers, they are conversating and they are filling holes in each other's roster and being really supportive. And it really is the collaboration that I would expect to have in a community like this, and it's just a lot of people are taking it to the next notch, going above and beyond. And so round of applause for the leadership and everybody that is really working together and keeping our team strong. And all of us have had roster issues, right? Or most teams have had some sort of roster issue where someone's disappeared and you're struggling, and people are posting in guild chat, they're filling these holes, and they're not just like limping along, they're actually able to get progression kills even though they have some roster issues. So I just want to really commend and thank the people that are making that collaboration effort happen. And it really is what separates this community from every other community, because there's a lot of guilds that have fallen apart. There's a lot of guilds that are really struggling with roster stuff. And the support that we have been offering each other has just been tremendous. So just thank you to everyone. And I know it's just going to get better as we get to know each other and we continue to reach out and support each other through the roster ups and downs that we all know happen. So doing really great on the collaboration. One thing, and Bell will kind of take it away and hit on this, but we really want to stay professional. I know that it's for me, like, it doesn't offend me personally, and like when we use profanity in guild chat, it's like but I really like, it's a line we've drawn, and I really want to encourage people to keep it clean. Like, we have a wide appeal to a lot of people. Now different teams handle themselves differently, but the atmosphere that we want to have an inclusive atmosphere. So there's a post made about it, and again, I'll let Belle comment a little bit on it, but what we tolerate will become the norm. So if we tolerate certain types of behaviors, even if we just tolerate a few times, it'll start to become the norm and it'll start to become prolific. So I don't want to compromise on an atmosphere that is accepting to everybody. And if somebody doesn't want you to say fish just because it triggers them, like, just don't say fish. Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you could say fish, right? And I'm not saying about reverse bullying here, like where you can't say anything, but I'm saying, like, people just, we want to be an atmosphere and a culture and a community where we respect each other. And even though it's not wrong for you to say certain things, it's just be respectful and considerate, and that is that is a mark of maturity and adulthood that is professional. So we really want to encourage people to just be respectful of each other. You don't have to understand why someone doesn't like something said or done, but really want to encourage everybody to make people in this community feel welcomed, because everyone here has issues in their life. Everyone here has had struggles, and this is a place where a lot of people come to get away from that. And I want to continue to have that atmosphere here, and it is a recruitment boon for us. There's a lot of people that are here for that reason, good players, and it'll continue to be something that stabilizes our roster, stabilizes our community, because people know what they're gonna get here, and that's going to be an atmosphere that's positive, that's constructive, and respectful. And so I really want to encourage people to continue that. By and large, we're doing a very good job, but there have been some comments and some questions, and so we're trying to clarify that, yes, we're going to continue to do this. The other thing you're going to see, we've talked about it a little bit, the ranks are going to be changed, so people that are in the repair rank, they're going to be bumped up to the normal rank, and then that repair rank will become the ambassador rank, and we'll be moving people in there shortly. It'll be either tonight or tomorrow night. We're also doing some stuff that I'll mention with the bank a little bit later on. The only other thing, so I'm touching on all the 3 pillars here, is the progression. We are really seeing some teams pick up with progression. I know the AP boosts and whatnot help, but the collaboration we've had has really led to strong progression, and we're seeing a lot of teams down new mythic bosses. So that's really fun to see. If you're not on during prime time and seeing the spam, you're missing out. So when you see that spam, make sure you say grats. I know if you're in the middle of a poll, you can wait till the end, right? But continue to encourage each other and push each other to be better. One of the things I really liked is some teams are sharing some of these strats with each other. So instead of going in and having 50 or 60 pulls, they're going in and having 20 or 30 pulls and getting a boss kill. So that's another awesome way to collaborate, and is just commend the people that are working together in that capacity. So that's it. Belle, go ahead.
So back on the post about respectful language, I went ahead and linked that into the Guild General Discord. My purpose in writing this wasn't necessarily pointed at the people who are saying these things, but I wanted to give people a way to talk about it. I know that hearing these things bothers a lot of people in this community, and a lot of times you feel when you hear it like there's nothing you can do. If you have an idea how to talk about it, you can bring it up and tell a person this is why it makes people uncomfortable. So I tried in this post to give you something to work with, so that you can speak up and say, hey, this is hurtful, this makes people feel bad, and this is why. So I hope it helps. That was my whole purpose in doing it. I know that the people who say these things generally don't understand why it's offensive. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully this helps. The other thing I wanted to talk about in the State of the Guild is, especially our Endless Kingdom members, I want to make sure you're aware of transition that's going on. We've made it so that a team can choose which guild that they're housed in, and several teams moved from Endless Kingdom to Eternal Kingdom, and that opened up some questions. So I want to reassure everybody, Endless Kingdom is still a strong guild. It's still home to many, many people, and that's not going away. We still house a couple of the teams, and we're still a strong set of casual members and members who can't raid right now or only raid casually. But all of the support in the guild is still there for you. I think that's it, Zay.
All right, thanks. And we had a few shout outs. Shout out to E-Team who got Crosis, and then shout out to Hanti and S-Team for Angry Assignment's use on Tachondrius, which is one of those teams that got a quick kill because teams are collaborating. So thanks.
D-Team also got Scorp down.
Congrats D-Team. I think Ascension did too,
Congrats.
right?
Yes, we did.
So yeah, a lot of good progression. All right, we will continue to talk about some of the transitions between the guilds. We are looking at potentially having it so there are not going to be non-raiders in EK. So we'll have a guild that is basically the teams can go where they want, but if you're in EK, you're on a progression raid team, whether it's heroic or mythic, is fine. But and then all casual members, all non-raiders will be moved over to ENK. So we're going to have a transition time. We'll continue to talk about that in the future. But just to give you a heads up, that is where we intend to move with this, to try to streamline how the community operates and kind of to know who's what and where, and keep track of things. Shout out to Z Team for getting Augur down. S has Augur down.
Do they?
Yes.
S has been working on Alessandra. They're in phase 3 Alessandra right now.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
we're solidly in phase 2 and dipping our toes quite frequently. In fact, even up to like the calf, well, not just the ankle, but the calf into phase 3. So
Thank you
Yeah.
for such a vivid,
And-
articulate detail.
we're having a lot of fun. It's a really, really fun boss. And I discovered that the DK speed boots are a mistake on that boss because you overshoot and run into rings because you're not used to going fast.
So watch
So-
how you stream for kicks and giggles is what she's saying.
No, I corrected that, so I'm actually
All right.
doing decently now.
So the last thing before we move on to the other reports is, I just want to remind people, in terms of the professionalism, like I literally teach 21st century skill type stuff at a college, and this stuff about being considerate, it's not just like we're trying to earn your fun. We really do want to encourage you and help you develop 21st skills that we're here to make the world a better place, inside and outside, right? So I can tell you definitively, when you're interviewed in any sort of professional job, they ask you questions to try to figure out your ability to communicate in a professional way. And doing it here and learning to do it here will, I guarantee you, if you're looking in professional work environments, it will actually help you. So just figured I'd throw that to. I know that's kind of going back, but just want to encourage you in that regard, that it is meaningful. So Majestus, recruitment.
Recruitment's been steady. So if you've been helping bring people in, thank you for that, friends and former raiders. The biggest thing for recruitment right now is I need an assistant. My life is about to get a little bit more busy, which I'll discuss later on here. So if that's something you'd like to help out with, it's mostly just posting into the recruitment spreadsheet and helping me get that sorted around. But if you want to help out in that fact, please get a hold of me. I would love to have some help. The other thing is we have a brand new spreadsheet tab in the recruitment EK recruitment spreadsheet. Now I know a lot of people can't see it, but I'm going to discuss this mostly for the heroic team members. It's the availability of a heroic team lead to come in and put a heroic player onto the spreadsheet if they're interested in moving up into a mythic team. So we'd like, if it's something you're interested in, I know Titan's kind of like been in the training and development to move to the mythic. So, but we're welcoming all heroic team members if they want to progress to a higher level of rating, to talk to your team lead, and we'll get you on this list. And it's a little bit, I think, in matter of fact way, an easier way of letting the team leads know that, hey, we have somebody in guild that really wants to move up, and then they can look at the spreadsheet and contact you via the spreadsheet. So,
Thank you,
and of
Matt.
course, yep.
I don't know if you guys caught it in there, but she was asking for help. So if anyone wants to help with all guild recruitment, not recruitment specifically for any one team, but it's a lot of work, and she does a great job at it. But she definitely could use a little bit of help. Next up, Bell sponsorship program.
So things slowed down a little bit this month, which much to the relief of my team. We have not been getting the average of one per day, but more on the average of a couple per week. But we still have a lot of people interested in this guild and coming in. So there's two things, actually three things I want to touch on. One is people don't come into this guild without going through some sort of process. And this counts everyone. They're either coming in on a team or they're coming in casually. If they come in on a team, they have a process that they go through, and everything gets taken care of for them. They get their website permissions, and if they need help, they have a team lead to go to. If they're social apps, they go through my team, and they have a sponsor, hopefully, and they go to that sponsor or my team to get things taken care of when they have issues. There's one other way to come into the guild, and that is to go to one of the fun runs or trial runs 4 weeks in a row and show that you are committed to this community and really want to be here. And then if I get a recommendation from the leader of that that run saying, hey, yes, this person showed up 4 weeks in a row, didn't have any behavioral issues, that enables a person to enter the community. So I wanted to make sure people were aware of that option. The other thing, so first thing is that there's a process. Second thing is there's this new method to apply. And third, we need people to volunteer as sponsors. We get people pretty frequently, actually, that fill out apps that are stellar. And we know they have been looking a long time for a community like ours. They're going to be beneficial to the community. They're just not ready to raid full time right now. They've got life stuff going on. These are people we'd like to have in the community. We don't want to filter them out. And so I'm looking for a couple of people that would like to volunteer to sponsor someone into the guild that we could call on when we see one of these apps. So you can contact me or Alessandra or Kashiel's Dart to let us know that you're interested in helping out. So that's everything, Zay.
All right, thank you. Media.
That's me. All right,
That's
so
him.
so a couple things we're going to talk about real quick. The first part is the logo contest had finished last month. We have gone through voting, and we are happy to announce that Sign is the winner. Sign. We're working on the finishing touches, kind of working on color arrangement, things like that, getting on the front page and going on from there. But congrats, Sign.
Can you link which one is this?
Working on that now.
I just want to comment that everyone, the quality of entries was just tremendous, and it was
Well,
it was
actually,
really great to see all the creativity in the guild.
I'm going to talk to Siri a little bit about it, but we'll probably have a post up the next few days. We said that there was only going to be one prize, but I might see about giving a little bit of gold to the honorable mentions, because we had some really good ones that it was not an easy. I mean, so what happened is you guys voted, and then leadership got together and kind of talked a little bit about it here and there. But the person that won, we went with the one that you guys voted for. So the person that you guys said which should win is the person that got it. So, but yeah, we definitely have some honorable mentions, and you'll be seeing those. I'll talk to Siri and we get a post out there soon about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have the post up here a little bit. Time's gone away from me, but yeah, the post will be up, and we're gonna have some runners up in there. And Zayd, like Zayd said, we're gonna have a little talk about that too. That was the big part. My team and I were still working on getting Twitch completely set up. We have a schedule that's mostly put together, but we're gonna have eventually where we're gonna have a lot of the teams actually stream to the EK rating page. So look forward to that. Not too much really else, I think. I'm also looking for some help with social media. If you guys are interested in doing anything like that, in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, we can use a little bit more help. Send me a whisper in Discord, and we'll see what we can do about that. We have a whole separate Discord dedicated to media, so we're trying to get a lot of things taken off the ground right now. So if you're looking to help, if you want to get involved with that, we're ready for you.
Yeah, we'll continue to gain momentum with the media stuff. I also want to say too, if you're a code junkie and you like to code, we have some ambitious ideas, but it's going to take a lot of work and time. So if you're interested in coding, Talk to Siri, or Zaboot, both of them would be a good place to start. Inri.
Hey, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot going on this month. We have quite a few people gearing up, like toward Herald of the Titans and stuff like that, which is going to take place. Our first run is going to be late April, so we've got a few weeks still. If you're interested in that, contact me and I can add you to the channel for it. I'm going to have to change when I do like achievement runs and things like that. Previously, it was on Sundays at 5 p.m., but I'm actually going to have to change that to earlier in the day on Saturday or Sunday. I'll post that poll again because I do want to do the Nighthold achievements, at least as many as we can in 3 hours this weekend. So I'll post that. But other than that, just like Zate said, I wanted to remind everybody about the calendars. In the two, in Eternal Kingdom and Endless Kingdom, the calendar is always going to be accurate and up to date and have, for the most part, pretty detailed information. You can find all the same things copied over to the website as well. But yeah, everything that's going on is listed on there, like from meetings to FFRs or whatever, even just the weekly stuff that's going on. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. But that's all I have, really.
The Saturday morning Fun Times run tomorrow morning is postponed until noon server. I have to take my mother's dog to dog training.
Gotta take care of those dogs.
Awesome.
Because she will be getting her CCW.
What's that?
Concealed carry
weapon.
Oh,
The mom, not the dog. Just wanted to make that clear.
I was about to say, I didn't know they did that with dogs, but
does he? How does a dog hold the weapon?
How does it conceal it?
It's a Texas thing.
You mount it on their back, and it's like
just like a turret gun on the top of a dog. Yeah. So.
It's not
My
really
dog
concealed.
sheds out like 5 bags of fur a year, so I think she might be able to hide something.
All right. I'm noticing a lot of the stuff in the discussion items was actually covered in the reports, which is fine. So the logo contest winner already got announced. But number 2, I don't know if Zozima's here. Is he? I don't think he's here. But
No, he's on a weekend thing.
No,
But
but I'm
Belle
ready
can
for it.
go for it.
So this was my big thing that I gave the shout out to Titan and Zos and Nisa and for helping me out. I had the idea that we ought to be making guides. Zate's asked for guides. And one of the things that we can do that is really not out there, at least not in very many places, is a guide about rating basics, a primer for a person who wants to get into rating and hasn't been there. And I didn't think there was a better team than Titan to do that. So I put it out there and crowdsourced it, and they came together and actually wrote this guide. And let me put the link on Discord here.
Yes, this has been an ongoing thing, and I really, and I've said this to a lot of people for a long time, and I think we're going to get there eventually, right? But it's a slow process to get the expertise and the time. It just takes time to create content, but you guys are familiar with Elitist Jerks, right? Like the old forums they had that were theory crafting and all that. I would love to create somewhat of a home that would house a lot of that stuff. So this is the first of many things. Unlike Malvision, you saw the video that he put out, right? So a lot of the stuff that I've always envisioned for the community isn't just impacting our community; it's impacting the whole of WoW. And so this is a step in that direction.
So I really am pleased with how this came out. If you get into it and you start looking at it and you see errors, or you see ways, major ways that it can still be improved, it's not set in stone. We can evolve this. So I'm open to input, but it's out here and for people who are in the guild that are looking to get better at rating, this is a place to start. Make sure that you know the material that's in this guide before you start. So I really think the team did a great job pulling this together.
And if you're a Unholy DK or a Frost Mage or whatever your area of expertise, if you have an ability to write a guide and want to put it out there, feel free to talk to me or Belle. We'd love to get more of that going on. Sorry, Belle, were you done?
I'm done.
So new bank structure. What was happening is we had a buy-in system and I liked the system. Unfortunately, there was only 2 teams using it, and I wanted to get something a little more collaborative. So right now, what we're going to do is all guild repairs are shut off for everybody, all up and down the ranks, and we're going to try to build gold. My goal for this would to be to gold cap every tier, and then at the start of a tier, we'd turn on gold, and it'd be like 500 gold a day, and we'll let it run until it's out, and then we turn it off, and then we'd start building up again. So I have a few ideas on how to do that, and I'm looking to potentially pass off leadership to militia to let someone do that, and so I can get more involved directly in trying to do the things that would need to take place to raise gold. Or if someone's willing to do it, I'd work with them and continue with militia. But looking for things like sell runs, where we would invite people in, and they'd basically donate a portion of their BOE profits to the guild. And we'd sell them to buyers, or we'd sell achievement runs and just do like a around the clock, one night, just like a 24-hour, like towards the end of the tier, where people could come in and buy the head of the curve before it goes away, and just every person that comes in is paying 20, 30K or whatever it would be, and that would go into the guild bank. So if you have any ideas on how to make money, we have a lot of people that can come together and do things and donate time, and we did some charity stuff. There's a lot of people around. But what I really need is someone that's got a vision for how to put it together to get people collaborating. But again, I would really like it to. So the guild repairs is going to be turned off until the end of the tier. And I don't know. We'll probably end up maybe only getting up to 1 or 2 million, because we're only going to have a few weeks here probably. But when the next year comes out, we turn it on. It's like 500 gold per day until it runs out, and then we'll try to redo it. If this doesn't work out, we might just go back to the system we were using. So we're trying to kind of play around with it and see if we can't get some more interaction with the guild bank and the guild repairs from the entire community, rather than just have a few teams being able to use repairs. So very open to ideas, but I would really love to have a few people willing to basically come together and work on some ideas to get some money raised, gold raised for the community, and so we can get those repairs turned back on.
Can I just comment on something real quick?
Yeah.
Just to clarify. It wasn't like 2 teams like selfishly using the guild bank to the exclusion of everyone else. We came up with a system of everybody previously where you, in exchange for donating a set amount, a tax, if you will, per week from each team, you got guild repairs. And so only 2 teams chose to opt into that system. The others chose to either turn off guild repairs altogether or handle guild repairs on their own. So I just don't want people who maybe weren't here when that came about to think that they're like some elitist.
Yeah, and I think it was a great system.
Crap.
I would have loved to see more people use it, but they didn't. And I think part of it is people want to handle their own money their own way, and I understand that sentiment as well. But yeah, this is not. It's not like S and V team are doing anything wrong here. They're actually doing something that I would have liked to see a few more teams doing. We would have kept using that system. But anyway.
Question, Z.
Mm-hmm.
Guild repairs, whenever it gets turned back on, is that on kind of an honor system that you use that only for raid nights, or is that just wide open? You can use it every day?
It's not going to be an honor system. It's going to be you get 500 gold a day, and once you cap out, you cap out. It's going to be across the board. It's going to be 500 for every raider. And it will, when the gold goes away, the repairs get turned off. If people want to donate, like, and that's the kind of thing we'll probably figure out, like, if you donate over 10K, we might work out something where you get something in the guild, or I don't know, right? Like, we're going to try to think of creative ways. Once we turn it off, if you donate, we'll be able to see that. The second we turn it on, we can't see who's donating. So if you wanted to donate anonymously, you could do it after repairs got turned on, because it's going to, if you go look at it, even with 2 teams, it's like crazy spam. And I think 10 million gold would probably last probably in the neighborhood of about 2 months, unless people were paying more money in. Or if people, like, I haven't used guild repairs since, well, ever. And I know that there's some people that do that as well, that they would rather it be used by some people that might need it a little bit more. So it just kind of depends on the generosity of the community. But there's not like an honor system where you're only supposed to take a certain amount, or... Oh, you're talking about like the guild sell runs? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No, he's talking about an honor system where people are expected not to use repairs during raid days.
No,
I think, if I'm speaking for you, if I'm misspeaking, let me know. But that's what I think what he was saying.
Sorry, and I should have asked for clarification. I just kind of ramble away. It's going to be $500 a day, and there's no way to police it. We're not going to try. We're not going to be like, oh, you repaired, and it wasn't your raid day, so shame on you. It's going to be, if the community wants to be generous, then repairs will last for a while. If they don't, then they won't, and so it'll kind of be up to us. And I think it's part of the collaboration pillar, and yeah, I mean, we're asking people to be a little bit altruistic here for some, and if they, I mean, there's not going to be a penalty for not.
And if there are people who want to donate into fund the guild bank, I'm sure there is an officer who would accept your, donation and make sure that you got credit for it and it was known. So it doesn't have to be anonymous. So if you wanted to make donations while guild repairs were on, you can do that too.
Yeah, so I mean, this is an experiment. If there's a team that says, hey, we don't want to give any to the guild, we're just going to handle it all ourselves, like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely fine. This is not a tried and true system. This is just me trying to do something different, and we'll see how it goes. So it'll really be what the Raiders want, and we'll probably comment on it a little bit more when we have the new tier and say, hey, it's turned on. We'll see how it goes. It'll be experimental, but the big thing is trying to figure out a way to raise a little bit of gold between now and then. If you want to talk more about it, we can talk after the meeting a little bit, but I want to move on to the next thing, and that's the rank changes. Or actually, Bill, I have you in there too. Do you want to comment at all on the bank stuff?
Endless Kingdom is going to the same bank structure, trying to make everything as common between the guilds as possible. So if there's any questions about that, I'll field them offline.
Yeah, and so it could be feasible that, like, let's say ENK has their repairs go like the entire tier, and EK only has it for the first few months, because it's just each community has a different perspective of giving, in terms of like how much we're going to donate or how much we're going to take out. So, and that's fine. So we'll learn a lot when we turn this on. Guild rank changes, we talked a little bit about that. I talked about EK is probably going to be just raiders, and each team will get an allotted amount of people that they tag. And people that are offline for very long, they'll have to move to ENK if they want to stay part of the community. So you'll be hearing more about that. We also have a few free ranks that we'll be contemplating what maybe to do with, because there's 2 repair ranks right now. So we have one that's going to be used for ambassador, and we got another one, a free one. So we are looking at some other structures to put into place that would make life more convenient, and we'll announce that as the time comes. Oh, I can say this: if you're a Templar and you don't have like an alternate kingdom, would encourage you to get there, because it is helpful to have people that can manage the alt guilds when there's not, because I feel like there's a few people that are constantly going over to invite people. So the more we have that can do that, the better. And then do you have anything to add to that, Belle?
And invites should be to Alternal Kingdom too. Just put that out there. Rank changes in Endless Kingdom are going to mirror Eternal Kingdom. So Zayt and I'll continue to communicate about what works for both guilds.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add about the multimedia competition, Siri?
It's a whole different topic, man. Yeah, so...
oh, yeah, you haven't commented on it, yeah.
I have not. So we have started a giveaway for April. We got a couple different prizes out. So I've spammed in the Discord a couple times already. I'll do it again here in a second. But yeah, it's basically a competition, or not a competition. It's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. We're trying to give stuff away and trying to get some presents out on our social media and Twitch and things like that. So give it a shot. Share it out. That would help us out if you shared it out with other people. It doesn't matter if if you don't want to do one of those things, but it helps us out the more you share it out. So try to win stuff.
So if you want to, a few things to piggyback on this. If you want to donate like a pet or a mount or something to Siri or Henry for guild stuff, that would be fantastic. Again, anything we can do to highlight the community it is a lot easier when we have generous members that help us motivate, right? But Siri, can you update us on, I know you're trying to get sponsorship for Twitch stuff, and we're definitely in the building phase and trying to get there, but do you have anything in terms of what we can be doing to help support the multimedia initiative?
Yeah, so our main priority right now is getting Twitch built out, and we're trying to get more followers on that. And the more followers, you get the more viewers, and things can start happening from there. But what we're looking at, we're trying to get a sponsorship eventually. So what we need to do is grow that out as best we can. We're working on a schedule right now, so some of our raiders and teams can stream to that channel. And once we get more streamers, get more activity, we can go and approach Twitch to try to get partnership. That's going to open up a lot of other doors for us too, in terms of like different Discord access and things like that. And it helps get our name out there. So the best, like two of the best things that we're trying to do right now is trying to grow out Twitch. And then the one way to do that is just going to watch Twitch, or by sharing it out and making, having others watch it too. So that's kind of the gist of what we're trying to do, at least for the short term.
So we have a featured streamer at the top right of the top of the menu that drops down, and that would be the EK rating thing. That's the one we're trying to get sponsored, correct?
Yep.
So it would be helpful, even if you're not necessarily watching the stream, like when you log into Raid or whatever, if you clicked on that and just had it going in the background to keep the views high, that kind of stuff would help us get sponsorship, correct?
Yep, exactly. So yeah, if you're not watching it, I mean, obviously we need people to open it up, at least watch and have it open. But the more viewership we can get on there, the higher chance that we can actually get sponsorship, and that's going to help us out greatly. And once we have that, there's going to be a whole lot of other things that Twitch does with us that can get us more notice. So that's our first goal.
Cool. Thanks for the update, Siri. And then Majestus, a new raid team. Hype.
All right. I was in the middle of killing some world bosses, but I can wait. All right, so if you haven't noticed yet or not, there is a new tag in Discord. Siri was a little bit early on it. I am actually starting up a heroic team, and it's going to be called Kismet. It's a unique sort of heroic team, though. It's going to have a core raid set of 10 to 15 people, and then the rest we're going to fill from like the LFG, WoW forums, and just trade chat. People looking to come in and get to raid, so they have a chance to check out our community and give them the opportunity at maybe moving into Mythic. I mean, it's going to be like a starting team for those that want to move forward. I mean, EK has been about progression and getting, further up in progression. So in a way, this is what I'm working on. So for me, I named the team Kismet because it's Turkish for fate, fortune, or destiny. So this is a great way for people to create whatever fate they want in this guild. If they want to move forward into a Mythic team, we have a spot possibly for you. If you want to just stay a Heroic Raider, we're going to have that spot too. So if this is something you're interested in, I can meet with you after this meeting. It will be raiding on Saturday from 6 to 9 server. It's just the one day, and yeah, I'm excited to start it.
And so this is a little bit of a hybrid team. There's going to be a core, and there's going to be groups of people that kind of come and go, because it's going to basically be a team to promote the weekend teams, correct?
Yes, I'm going to be, I mean, the biggest thing is we want to fill to help D and U team fill in for gaps they may have, but at the same point in time, I want any of the Mythic teams to be able to have that ability. So if there's somebody that, wants a weekday team, they can come in and sit. This gives them this opportunity to sit at the heroic level and get stuff done, get gear, and then move forward into whichever team they want. And this is where my new tab for the heroic team members to move to a Mythic team will come into play as well.
So if you want to be on a heroic team, that will hopefully, or maybe not right at the beginning of the tier, obviously, but we'll work towards clearing heroic once a week on a 3. It's not going to add a day. It's not going to get into Mythic. It's just going to be as much heroic and as quick of a clear as you can make it. And it's, again, say the times, and then you're doing this tomorrow, right? So they could potentially meet with you after this and talk, and we could figure out maybe some tanks and healing and some of that key stuff.
Yep. It starts absolutely tomorrow from 6 to 9 server. So before the militia run is when this will be starting. Saturdays only.
So
I have a
Melissa-
mythic team. I hate you.
Yeah, she runs other things for us. So if you're interested in heroic and you don't want to stay up for militia, which starts at 9, basically Saturday is going to become a big recruitment day for us. So if you want to get involved and just run heroic, or if you know someone that's looking to do heroic or looking to get involved with the community, they have a 6-hour window now on Saturdays that they can come and just see the atmosphere, get logs for an app, etc., etc. So let's just have people, if you're interested in helping Majestus out with this team, even if you can only, like, maybe you're going to make it like 2 or 3 weekends out of a month, and you just want to let her know you're available to help out. And I mean, she could use some help probably tomorrow with certain key roles, right? So if you want to help at any level, let's just have you guys can go and meet down in the channel, the Kismet channel that's below at the end of the meeting here.
Yep. So, and also I really want to work towards getting those core players too. So that, it's just for people that don't want to go any higher than heroic. That's all I have, I think.
Alrighty. So last, and I don't know if Nybris is here, but Nybris, we have a new tech section of the website for just kind of like asking random questions. I had issues with my keyboard, and he had some keyboard shortcut commands. Nybris, are you here? And you probably can't talk if he is. Let me look. This entire meeting I could have looked and I didn't. And now I'm...
Yeah, he's typing. He's here.
Can we unmute him so
He
can
can
talk?
talk.
All right.
I already did.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hello.
So essentially the purpose behind that was to give people a place to ask questions. Because a lot of us, while we're gamers, we're not necessarily computer people. So I don't want to limit that to things such as, how do I get a self-repeating key? It can be any topic regarding technology. Even if it's something as simple as, how do I get Twitch to work with my Android tablet, for example? Because you could set your Android tablet to the side, let it stream the Twitch stuff, and then while you're doing whatever you're doing. So the idea is just simply any question that you can come up with. And I'm not necessarily going to be the one with the answers, but I will help find the answers if I don't have them. For those who don't know, I do technology support for a living, and we kind of have an open area. So there's not a great deal that we don't get asked. I have been asked everything regarding World of Warcraft, even from how do I set up to where if I hold down a key, it actually repeats over and over and over. And I said, well, that may violate terms of service, but here's how you do it. So any of those kind of questions at all, we'll be happy to either find the answer for you quickly or find the answer for you eventually, but we will try to find you the answer.
So I'd encourage you to use that. And again, this is just part of the big thing of we're a community, which, by the way, if you're going to do something that's against the terms of service, first off, don't do that. And then second off, if you're really going to do it, let's not have posts about it. But that fine line there, right? But if you're interested in helping Nybris in that, or if you want to post stuff, so again, we want to have more of it. We want to support our community and have a really cool networking group of people working together inside our community, right? But we also want to have that impact outside. So we're going to continue to push and bring up forum stuff that we're doing and things that will have an impact on the greater WoW scape. That's it for the meeting. If somebody else wants to add anything, I don't think we have any other shout outs that got brought up. But if there's anything for the good of the order, otherwise, thanks for being here. And we will see you next month.
I don't know which team provided them, but Titan was offered some BOEs this week, so whoever did that, thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, so thanks again for coming. Would encourage you to continue to check the forums, check Discord for updates throughout the month, but we'll continue to do these and try to keep everybody updated. And if I can say one last thing, I'd really encourage you to, there's so much going on in this community in terms of extra runs. Just like Malvision's great at this. He'll just in the middle of a day, just like start a group, right? If you're on, there's this calendar. There's people doing stuff. I would encourage anyone listening or for you to share with people that are interested in getting into WoW a little bit more. There's so much going on, but if you don't, take a step out of your cave or whatever, your order haul, you're going to miss out. So really encourage you guys to continue to make those connections, continue to build those relationships, because that is what makes this place special. So thanks for the great effort we've had and the continued effort I know we will follow in that regard. So thanks again for being here, and like I said, we'll see you next month. Oh yeah, if you want to be helping out with Kismet team, go ahead and drop down with Majestus right now. Would like to get that team off to a solid start, and of course, whatever they don't fill in, they'll looking or not group finder, not looking for raid, group finder it. Who would like to see a good core for the first few weeks start off.
I'm heading down now.
And then I'll stick around if someone wants to ask questions or whatever, but I am going to stop the recording.